and goes on looking ahead. Back straight, perfectly rigid. As Mummy stalks off across the church car park towards her elderly Jag, Angie approaches me. Dory, are you rushing off? Or have you got time for a quick word? Yes, of course, I say. My train doesn't go for ages. She beams at me. Great. Then we could have a cup of tea and a proper chat if you like. And I can tell you all about the vigil. It really was a lovely event. I was so sorry you couldn't be there, but I know you were with us in spirit. I blink at her. I didn't hear anything about a vigil, and I can't imagine Mummy condoning such a thing. It sounds distinctly like making a fuss. Sorry? The vigil, last night at the Chapel of Rest. We had ever such a good turnout. Mostly locals, obviously, but word must have spread because a few of your grandmother's friends came from London and beyond. We even had 1 or 2 Italians, because your granny had friends over there, didn't she? She told me all about how you two used to go there together. She did. I say, we did. That must have been wonderful, Angie says. Anyway, I know it was too much for you, the vigil, but I thought you'd like to hear about it. She's starting to look puzzled herself now. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? I don't, I say. Right, Angie says. Right, yes, we'd better have a cup of tea. The vicarage is just over the road. Come on. She takes my arm and guides me through the lich gate and across the narrow lane to a pretty, low-slung cottage in Cotswold stone. I'm starting to feel a bit odd, if I'm honest. Shaky and unreal. I feel like I might break down and cry properly for the first time since Charlie called me to tell me that Granny had been taken to hospital. And then again, just a short while later, to say that she was gone. In here. Angie opens a side door and ushers me into a homely kitchen, painted in gentle blues and greens, with cacti ranged along the windowsill and an elderly cat dozing in front of a big cast-iron stove. Once I'm seated at the scrubbed pine table with a plate of biscuits and a clay mug of tea with a peace sign painted on the side, Angie sits down opposite with her own tea. The first thing to say, she begins, is that anything we discuss here is completely confidential. The second is that if you need a bit of a weep, go ahead and have one. I won't judge you. She nods towards the box of tissues by my elbow. And you can swear all you want. It doesn't shock me. Nothing does. Understood? She looks so serious. She looks, in fact, really concerned, and I have a feeling, a nasty, creeping feeling deep down in my gut about what she's going to say. Understood. Good, Angie says. Now, the vigil. You really didn't know about it? I didn't. If I'm honest, I'm not totally sure what one of those is. I see. Well, it's not necessarily common practice in the Church of England, but our parish has a tradition of holding a vigil the night before a funeral, a bit like a wake, you know, in the Catholic tradition. It's something we do for people who are really important to our church community. And since the funeral was going to be family only, well, it was a chance for all of us to say goodbye, especially as she died so suddenly. So we asked your mother if we could hold one for Margaret, and she gave us her permission. What, really? Mummy finds the C of E a bit in for a dig. I can't see her giving the go-ahead to anything that smells even slightly of Rome. Well, not right away, Angie admits. I think she was concerned it would create more work and stress at a difficult time, which is totally understandable, of course. But in this case, we'd planned to organize everything ourselves, and she wasn't expected to do anything or even to attend. So once I'd made that clear, she agreed. And obviously, our first thought was to invite you. I know you're not a churchgoer. Sorry. I say, no, it's fine. But I know you and Margaret had a special bond. She talked about...